Yeah, I think FCOSS was quite clear in its budget submission that the priorities, given what we have heard from the various divisional consultations we've organized with the support of Piango and UNDP, is that there are concerns around safety and protection, particularly relating to fighting the rising drug epidemic, and that means equipping law enforcers and also preparing for the fallout, and so ensuring that there are support systems for those who are recovering from drug addiction, and also ensuring that there is some perhaps coherence in the way different agencies respond to this drug fight. And then the second issue is around access and infrastructure, so a lot of issues around roads, jetties and bridges, and that's really important when we have to ensure that children get to school and the sick get to hospitals. And in some of our communities, as we have heard from yesterday when we set for a roundtable on the aged and care work during the disasters and climate change, we heard that there's still a lot of gaps out there, particularly for the elderly who have been neglected, who feel like they have been neglected. And we talked about some data that we had collected during 2020 and 2021 when we were working to support Save the Children Australia, conduct support programs such as cash transfers for families for about a year. So we did sort of a vulnerability assessment and collected data on 16,000 heads of households across the country, and we were able to glean some data from there about the status of the elderly, not only the elderly, but we had also looked at children and of course women, people living with disabilities. But yesterday we had a chance to look at the elderly, and we agree that more effort needs to go into ensuring access. They even talked about even though there are support programs for the elderly to access services through bus fare assistance, the buses are not built to perhaps cater for the physical impairments that the elders might have. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Policy needs to translate into actionable work, perhaps. That is depicted by that there is this ongoing bus fare assistance, and the buses are just not built to that end. So that is one. The other one is around quality service delivery, which is why we've taken such a strong stance on the proposal for the MP salary, which we have been campaigning for that decision to be reversed, and for review of the act concerning the emoluments of parliamentarians. These are generally what we're looking to make sure that government prioritizes. I think that when we put people first, genuinely, we'll know what our priorities are as a country, and we'll see tomorrow whether our leaders have done that. Yeah, I think that one of the things that I want to commend government on is that they've started the process of the review of the minimum wage rate, and I think in some spaces they refer to this as a living wage. When you change the narrative around what that minimum wage discussion is, when you talk about it as living wage, you'll understand that there are pressing concerns from the stakeholders, particularly the unions, about how their members are faring out there in communities. I think that the fact that they've already started a review process is commendable on the part of government, but we have to be able to prioritize that first. We have to prioritize addressing the concerns of workers in this country. And I know that the review team is supposed to bring a report back to and perhaps present their recommendations by August. And we think that if we prioritize that over the MP salary, then we're on track as a government that is that prioritizes its people. I know that the MPs have their own challenges, dealing with constituents that's so used to receiving, handouts. But there are ways in which to deal with that, and one of the big decisions that they have to make is to put people first, genuinely, not just by words. It can't be rhetoric anymore. People know what they need after 16 years of perhaps fear and in some parts silence, and when they have articulated it, I do hope that the leaders act with some wisdom and pay heed to the voices of their citizens. Certainly, I think that's a manifestation of how priorities are weighed out, and it's great that they have created or enabled spaces for public discourse around this issue, and that already is for me a 50% indication of good political will, and the rest is for them to take decisive decisions, and perhaps take those decisive steps, and actually do something about it. Listening is one. The second step is doing something about it.